I am live. Ooh, giggity, giggity, goddamn giggity. What's going on, y'all? It's your main man, Mr. X. I'm here, making sure I get my popping immediately. You know, yep, I like that. So I can click on it, and so right when it's done streaming, right when it's done streaming, I can share it and not wait forever and a day. So I'm here. It's your brother. It's your brother. You should love me right now. Give me a round of applause. Round of applause. I wonder if I can play music a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For your enjoyment. And but I don't want to write this music because they'll put a strike on us. I was jamming one day. I was getting it in. And then it was like, whoop, strike. I'm like, oh man. They're gonna do me like that. I want to play some Twilight. Some Talib Ali. You know what I'm saying? Just to get by. But they'll, you play a little bit, they'll be like, yo, nah. So anyway, what's going on, y'all? It's your main man, Mr. X, giving you what you want to give you what you need. It's early morning. But if you're listening to now, it could be night where you're listening to. It could be, the afternoon, whatever. And I'm just glad that you're listening. I'm glad you're taking this in. And we want to divulge deep into the information. And, we look at a lot of different things here in regards to Black people and their relations in society and different aspects of it. You understand? And so, I like to play little games and stuff like that, but we like to tear down things. We like to tear down things, to tear down barriers that have held us back. And one of those things is religion. And people, people get aggressive when defending their religion. My mindset has gone back and forth with religious doctrines. I'm not getting into arguments with Black people about the Bible unless it's in regards to particular scriptures that deal with fighting back and being more of a revolutionary than the pacifist, because there's still some pacifist pastors out there that preach the slave doctrine of turning the other cheek and taking the slap at the feast. My brother Shannon Sharp said on his show with Skip Bayless on the ESPN, I'm gonna get slapped here, and I'm tired of getting slapped. And Shannon Sharp is a big, strong brother from Georgia, and when I look at where I'm at, upstate New York, I look at the brothers as ready-made soldiers. I very rarely see a weak, skinny, scrawny brother, and even they have, you got something you got to do within this movement. You have to be involved within this movement. I seen 2 police skirmishes, or just one yesterday, where the police were kind of involved and they were just kind of monitoring. So I'm like in the middle of all that stuff, in the periphery, just seeing how they moving and see the 2 families. And we had this one family, so we got one strong brother with the red on, like, I'll pop that cop, I shoot his ass. I'm like, where? All right, so let me get this flyer to you. But I couldn't, because he was mixed in with this white group of people who didn't like police, don't like authority. Then a white woman who screamed out nigger because she was upset. This is what they do when they get upset, the hard ER. And it was 2 families get at one another. And I'm sitting there just taking it all in. You know what I'm saying? And tensions was high, people screaming at each other, little girls talking about suck my you-know-what, and it's like, wait, what? So I'm watching this stuff, 1 for material, but 2, I'm seeing Black people with straight. So the sister's pregnant, she trying to fight another woman, and the guys, and so they running back and forth up and down the street, and it's just madness. When I'm watching the police and watching the byplay, the police is like, shut the F up, they totally unprofessional. They back off like, listen, these people don't want to listen. Let them deal with it themselves. The only thing is, they can't. So you got to monitor. So I'm just listening and listening. Then I see a brother say, I'll pop him or whatever. But he go back to his group, which is basically a bunch of white folks. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. The whole thing was madness. And then they had another group of cops go up near my home, like down the block from my house, looking for case shells. So, we in the war zone, brothers and sisters. And, this is where the action is. It is not the entirety of black life, but it is a good majority of black life. And each section speaks for itself, doesn't include itself with other groups. And that's a problem. We just had another story come out about the violence here in my city and local community persons discussing what the issues may be. But we do that every year and every summer. That story comes out and the same people talk about the same type of violence, and we need to stop and we need to pray and we need to hold hands and stuff like that. They don't do that in the white communities. You know what I mean? We see. I feel like we're retarded. It's like we're the retarded group, and you got the retarded education, and then you got the normal education, right? Quote unquote. And then I remember looking at those classes and looking at those students, and I'm like, they're telling me they're retarded. I'm friends with one who was in a lower level education, and he was sharp as a tack. Like questions, like just dealing with him. There may have been some issues there, but I don't think to a point where he needed to be removed from the quote unquote normal regular classes and put into those classes. That I would finish a conversation from 2 days ago and then bring it back up, and we would do it coded. And they're like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he would be right on par with what I was talking about. This is 2-3 days ago, and I would bring it up days later, and he would remember exactly where I left off at. You know what I'm saying? Or if I forgot something, he would add in the information that I forgot. That type of reasoning power, that's damn near genius level. And you got them, you know what I mean? Like you strong in some cases and weak in others, and that's with anything. You know what I mean? And you just fill in those gaps. And you get people to fill in those gaps. If you're weak in math, then you have someone who's strong in math to assist you in it so that you can get your levels up. You know what I mean? So, we know that, but they act like we don't know that. You dig? And so, that's something that is certainly one of the prevailing issues in our community, that people are controlling what are we learning. So to get back in religion, what we're learning, right, is military science. We talked about in the past the groups coming to Africa, handing a Bible to denizens, saying, close your eyes, pray to Jesus. And when he opened his eyes, the Africans who had the land now lost the land, they have the Bible, and the white people who came just with the Bible now has the land. Well, how do you do that? And what does that mean? Because we give these quotes by means necessary, you know what I'm saying? But people just say it and don't necessarily know what it means. Well, when you use a weapon as the Bible, and you go to a spiritual people, and you concoct an idea from where your land is, because you got nothing, and you see the riches in African land. So you come and you say you're a spiritual person. I talk to God. Do you know a man named Jesus? And you walk upright and sturdy, and you smile, and they've never seen a white person before. And you're hovering above the ground, and you give the teachings, right? And you get them to submit. So when you get them to submit within the religion, that means to leave a meek and humble life and to share whatever you got. And so the land that you assumed was yours because you've been guarding it for thousands of years, millions of years. Now with the doctrine in your head, you say, yeah, anybody can partake. As a matter of fact, you can have it. All I want is that book, because I've never felt such serenity, because the culture and society that you lived in was serene because you made it serene. But they convinced you that this white man made it serene. And so this white man that has this book about this white man and makes you think that this is where all this came from, and that you can come up off it and they can have it, and then you can have this book, you'll be straight. And so these different passages here talks about what you are supposed to do specifically in this new society. And it weakens you. weakens you. Read from these passages here, it takes the warrior spirit out of you. It's attacking. You can't understand why they're attacking. You want to love them, and so you defeat them and say, "Hey, come back on in, because we love you. We really don't, teachers of Jesus. We really don't want this type of relationship to continue." And so eventually you fall. And so now in the Bible it says, "Don't have images of me." It's against the law. But we have an image of a man. His name is Caesar Borgia. And he was a living image of Jesus Christ. Now, Jesus Christ was fake. Caesar Borgia was a real man. He was a real man. Only lived to be 31 years old. Italian man. Now, how you feel about Italians? Y'all sisters be coming in. Hey. He not white. He Italian. Okay. He's Caesar. You brought me Jesus. Is that what you did, sister? You brought me Jesus. This is your boyfriend here. Okay. He was a politician. And he was a mercenary. And he had, actually, shout out to Tupac, he was an inspiration for Machiavelli. And I was watching this video, right, of Alexander VI, one of the worstest popes in history. This is according to white folks. And Caesar Borgia is actually from the house of Borgia. And he's actually the son of this guy. So there's a background of Caesar. And I just happened to look at it and I'm like, damn, what am I talking about today? It's just white. We talk about white Jesus. Now, who is white Jesus? You know what I mean? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. I'm talking about he's born September 13th, 1475. So he's been long dead. But he was a regular white man. Metrosexual man. Now they talked about a guy, going to jail. And Leonardo being asked to find the picture of Jesus. We need a picture of Jesus. And we're like, well, all the pictures of Jesus are black, man. Like, all the pictures of Mary Magdalene and they're all black. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's, you think of something. They had already had a relationship with one another. So when you go through things, right, and you got to come up with stuff, then you go to with people you know. You know what I mean? So Caesar and Leonardo already had a relationship. He had Caesar in his position of power had hired Leonardo as a military architect and engineer in 1502 and 1503, and provided Leonardo with unlimited pass to inspect and direct all ongoing planning construction in this domain. So they already had a relationship with one another. And so once given that task, he was like, yo, man, who's going to, if I'm given this task, right, of creating the new living Jesus, I must create an image, whom can I find? Like, man, young man, great works for me, helped me. What can I do? Because they'll kind of leave that out of your life. Like you look through, you'll look through. You'll look through your person's life, and you'll see all the different things that he was involved in, the names, the places, and dates, and all that other stuff. And then you'll find a separate story that's from him. This is Caesar. This is the white Jesus. This is the white Jesus that we come to love and appreciate and desire and have on our walls. And so you see two different stories. You see the real story, and then you see him being part of the fiction. Hey, man, can you do this little thing for me? It's like one of those videos that you do, and it goes viral, but you weren't interested in going and doing anything viral or any type of videos or any of those types of things. You just happen to be in the video, a prominent person in the video, and they got 15 million views, and now people hitting you up and they following you and freedom questioning you and all this stuff on Instagram and all that. And you like, man, I didn't really mean for this. I didn't know people was recording. I was just acting. Maybe you was slugging police. Maybe you was on whatever was going on. That's what happened with Caesar. Caesar had his own life. Was a son of a pope. The Pope Alexander dealt in nepotism. This is what we fight nowadays to keep power within the family. So it's not about merit or morality, or if you know what I'm saying, hey, if you're the best for the job, I'm gonna put you D. You gonna get it. Let me see your resume. Oh, you qualified. They hit you with you underqualified or you overqualified. This is not a position for you because you need to be going somewhere else, brother. Like, wow, this is a lot. And this is the job want to pay $8 an hour. You got a master's degree, PhD, and all that, man. You know what I'm saying? You need to take this resume. Shoot, I don't even know why you here. You know what I'm saying? They'll give you that, make you feel all types of good. But when you're dealing with the Pope, when you're dealing with absolute power, they just say, this dude is going to have the cardinal position. This dude is going to have the bishop position, the reverend, whatever that needs to be created under the hand of God. So you can always, no one's going to really challenge you in that regard, because with the Pope, you're supposed to have that one-on-one relationship with God. And interestingly enough, with Alexander VII, he was a whoremonger. He liked women. Now they always leave out, because we talk about culture here, they always kind of leave out, that mess with little boys thing. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want that to go down. And eventually, those things will not only come out, but they're going to, in the years to come, they're going to celebrate it. They're going to celebrate the fact that he was a pedophile because of the constant push of homosexuality to the American society. It's been dropped bit by bit by bit by bit from the early 1900s, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by bit, so people get used to seeing those images and become normalized. This is behavior science, right? This is stuff that they practice in labs, projects, experiments. As Brother Small said in the interview the other day, he said it was a government project that we were put in projects. Now, not to be disingenuous, they were nice places. I remember living in them in the 90s. I don't know exactly when they were built, but I know they were nice. And then obviously, if you don't change the mind of folks and you're constantly attacking them, because in those projects, there are certain things that are going on here. Certain peoples are allowed here. Certain foods are given regularly for free. Free foods, programs and stuff. You don't see where this food is produced or made. It's just given to you. You consume it, and then over years, you'll see what's going on. You allow those who are in prison, they're not going to go to the high class society. They're going to come into the projects, the government sanctioned projects. You see what I'm saying? You're going to take those fathers out, and you're going to put them back in after 4 or 5 years of prison. You're going to leave a mother with multiple children alone. You're going to have them these things called food stamps, and they're going to be used to buy certain goods. And then you're not going to have a grocery store nowhere near the area. You know what I'm saying? Now, Third Ave, you can walk a distance to Price Chopper, so it's not necessarily what you would call a food desert, because it's within a mile or so, because we used to make that walk all the time. So it's there, but every community should have a Price Chopper, but a grocery store in distance of where they are, within the mile and a half. So you're thinking about people who don't drive, and they still exist to this day, either on your bus line or don't drive. You see, so they can take a cab, taxi, they can walk and get a few things. You know, hell, they can even push the car all the way home if it's close enough. But anyway, let's get back into white Jesus. I'm talking about white Jesus now, and the show is called Our Savior Has Arrived for many different reasons. But now that we're in the middle of a rebellion, and things seem to be adjusting and moving, and the protests seem to be slowing down in certain areas, and the media is going to bring different images and stories to us. This is where the Bible thumpers come and say, hey, this is the end days. Where's this Savior here? Where's this Savior? And I'm going to give you your Savior, because most of our people think this white man is going to float from the ground. That picture, the stock picture you got is John Legend. He played Jesus in the Jesus Christ Superstar thing a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? And he's light enough, and a lot of white characters and stuff around, so that it wouldn't be destroyed by the black community, because you couldn't give the black community in the 70s. They gave that stock photo of a black man who was Jesus, and black people was going crazy. It was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? But let's go through, because I'm looking through the life of Caesar and what he has done now. This man was just a regular man. He was a duke or a count. He was title of nobility. And like I said, dealing in nepotism, it's a hereditary title claimed by the Prince of Monaco in 1949. So it's just, one of those political positions that he had. And he was part of the Borgia, House of Borgia, the Spanish noble family. They came in prominence during the Italian Renaissance. And so he was basically a vagabond of a man, Let me see. It's been some back and forth in terms of who he was the son of, but it's been put down that he was the son of a pope. His brother was assassinated. Interesting stuff about him. But needless to say, because I want to go to the next thing. Let me go back. I want to go back because of something I was looking at. I was going back. He's got 10 children. He loved women too. Yeah, he was just another white dude. Died at 31 in the politics game. Loves some coochie. Got him some women. Had about 10 kids. Sound like a black dude, right? You have 10 kids. Multiple. You know what I'm saying? Has some marriages or whatever. Marriages, as I say lightly, and love women, and chase tail. You become Jesus Christ if you white. But when you black, you all types of niggas. You all types of you all types of other things. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you do. This is how they do it. So I mean, it is what it is. But I say all that to say, who is the Christ figure in your community? We have pastors, white pastors in our community, and those who may be listening to this from the local area may know who I'm talking about. We have white pastors in the black community, or a white pastor in the black community, who are able to do more within the community than the black pastors. Because you have this black pastor coalition almost in every city, and they do almost nothing. Like, they just meet and don't do nothing. You have revivals at churches, and you feed people, and there's a bunch of people from their generation. So 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds are hanging out with one another. They're not reaching the youth at all. They're coming to them for answers, and they stuck in the 1950s and 60s. This is all by design. All by design. So the white pastor, who's a little hip, allows the children to listen to some updated modern music, play sports with them and stuff like that, because he's in pretty good shape. You know what I mean? So he don't eat all the stuff that the other pastors ate, and the other pastors is substantially older than him. You see where I'm going with this? And so when the thing goes down, they have more of a connection with that pastor than they do the black ones. And he's able to move more. Why? Because the white man always can speak for black issues. The white man, if you couldn't, like back in the day and during slavery times, if a black person had an issue, he couldn't speak for himself. He had to get a white man to do it. And so it's still prevalent today that your so-called white Jesus figure was supposed to come and be around his people, God's people. They were not rich people. They didn't have gold all around them. They weren't built in gold. They had nothing. And so Jesus was around them, showing them miracles. And so when things occur within the community, this Jesus figure, who all the resources go through, understand this. When you get 501c3s or different community corps, right? Resources come from the city. They are maldistributed to those who are part of the hierarchy. They've been doing this since Caesar's time, right? It has not changed. Not what you know, it's whom you know. So people will show up out of nowhere and try to rub elbows with people to curry favor. I don't do that. I don't kiss ass for nobody. I don't curry favor. I love black people. But I see if you on that time and you think I'm trying to kiss up to you, nah. I'm in the building coalitions and building with other black people so that we can build a united front, be a nation of our own, be independent of independent thought. I'm not looking to be around the next white man who's connected to the hierarchy and gets good with them, and maybe he'll drop me off a couple trinkets, right? Because with those trinkets, he's got your mind. You can't speak ill of him. You can never go against him because you feel obligated, because in a situation where you needed some help, there was this white man that helped you. That's with all Negroes. That's the gag. This is white Jesus figure, and who's the white Jesus figure in your life? Who's Caesar Borgia in your life? Who is he? Who is he? Think about that. Whom are you getting close to that individual relationship blinds you from the masses of white folks who continue to use white supremacy and racial dominance and white privilege to lord over the black citizens of this earth. Caesar and white supremacy are one and the same. Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. The man he was fighting was named Caesar. His actual name is Caesar. Need I say more? He actually was the guy that Jesus was fighting. He was part of the Pope hierarchy or dominant entity that ruled over the people, and his family garnered all the resources because all they were interested in was money and power. So the actual guy that's playing Jesus and Caesar were one and the same. He's fighting himself. That's the gag. That's the beauty of the gag of it, man. And so this guy, look, we got, oh man, Jesus was a gangster. And like I said, Caesar and Da Vinci had a relationship beforehand. Now, was it homosexual? I don't know, but back in those days, man, people were doing what they wanted to do. And Caesar so loved his buddy that he gave him coup de grace, man, to do whatever he wanted and got him positions. That sound like, y'all check all that out, man. Y'all check all that out. That particular savior is going to come for white folks. Yeah, it's going to be a guy that look like Caesar. He's going to come from the white militia groups, right? You're gonna have his hair looking like Jesus to have you like, oh my God, it's Jesus. And by that time you're thinking he Jesus is here to save you, pop, 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 you already dead. It's gonna be a military tactic. Yeah, he's gonna come out the mountains with an army of white folks ready to exterminate your ass. So that white Jesus that you got in your family or your friends, you gonna have to kill that relationship, or it's gonna kill you. You gotta be like, you know what? I'm cool on this. This is yeah, I'm good. Let me move on. This ain't good. This ain't no. This is a no. Can't do that no more. Can't do that no more. Because now you're looking at something that's very, very dangerous now, ladies and gentlemen. We can no longer believe on this thing, this lie. We're in the age of information. This thing comes right up. Leonardo, you are tasked with painting the world's greatest. Ain't no images of white man that's the world's greatest. You'll think of something. Go ahead. Oh, my boy Jesus. I love you, Caesar. I love you, Caesar. I love you so much. I've been tasked with painting the world's greatest, and you're the world's greatest to me. I'm gonna write this. This is this homosexual love picture. This is why he looks so fruity. This is a homosexual present from one homosexual to another. I don't care if one got a bunch of kids. If you screw a man, you gay. That's the rules. I don't make these rules up. It's different for men and women. That's from my perspective. Women, they ain't gay. They can be brought back. You can't. The strong, black, powered, melanated man is too powerful. Reverberates too much. That's what you want. God put you here for us. And he put you here for us. And he put us here for you. But men, you start catching and pitching, yeah, you pretty much gone, bro. You pretty much gone. Dude, wig is kryptonite to you. That's the end of you. And so Leonardo went to his love interest, Caesar, and said, I'm gonna make you Jesus. And that's what we waiting for, this gay dude. That's what we got. That's what we got, rainbows all over the place. We got rainbows all over the place. Rainbow bright. Who is your white Jesus? And will he come during this time to save your people, black people? Right? Come on now. Now I know there's more information. I don't have it. But if you dig deeper, you're going to find some black people there. You're going to find some slaves. You're going to find that he probably raped some black boys and some black girls. You know, these things are in the records. But those who come afterward have made an edict. I believe it was Julius who came after Alexander the Seventh. Said they were so disgusting. We got to rid them of the record books. How often have you think that has happened? That people either were too great or too dastardly. They said, man, we gotta get rid of their history. Can't nobody know this. Can't nobody see this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna share this real quick. This is a share button, right? Yeah. Share this to my ladies page. It's all the way live. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. It's all the way live. Hey, it's all the way live. It's like let my wife know I'm doing work today. My family went down south for a week. Give me a chance to put some material up, and so I'm doing shows every day. I'm hopping on my people's shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it in. My beloved wife gave me the opportunity really to do this thing. Get you a black woman. Get you a black woman. Leave the white man alone. Don't be a black man trying to be a white man. Don't be don't be a black woman trying to be a white man. Don't be, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't be a black man trying to be a white woman. Get you a black woman. Black man gives you a black woman. See, all the confusion. Shout out to my brother irritating. See, all that confusion. If you are confused, you cannot fight for freedom. If you are confused, you're going to see the face of the enemy as your savior, and you're going to go into him with open arms. I remember reading this story, a zombie story. You know, I love zombies, and it was about this man who had his wife turned. And he was like, yo, you see one zombie story, one zombie movie, you see them all. And then you get creative, you be like, wow, that was a deep perspective. You can get deep with zombie novella. You're obviously, I mean, just dead people come back to life and start eating you. How deep is that? Well, there was this man, his wife turned, right? So he's like grieving, loved his wife intensely, and she's in there and he couldn't kill her. He knew, kill the brain, she would die. So he hear her moaning and banging in the room. And he's just like, the story is going through the anguish in the morning, and he's thinking about, all right, all I do is go in there and bam. You know what I'm saying? And he thinks about, the story comes up when they went out and went to the pool parties and they made love here and did this and stuff like that. And, you know, he's tears streaming down his eyes and all that. And he's sitting there contemplating all the love making, and the children are dead too. And it's just too much for him. So he says, all right, I'm going to make a decision. F it. He opened the door. And when I have you believing he was going to kill her, he opened his arms to her. Right into her arms. You know what happened. She ripped this jugular out, man. Zombie, gone. Gone. And that's what's going to happen to you. When you go to your enemy with your arms out like this, you're going to go, you're going to hug, and he's going to be like, now your blood going to be spilling out. I don't know. He's going to be licking and looking, you know what I'm saying? And you eat your rib cage out. And as soon as you die, and the body turns cold, he gonna get up looking for more flesh, and guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna get up, and you're gonna be a zombie. Meaning, once you fall into their womb, you are no good to us. You cannot be brought back, and you must be put down. So, who is your Caesar? Who is your Jesus? Huh? You still looking for that Savior to return? He's not coming back. Caesar is not coming back. That white man is not coming back. He was a vagabond, a pedophile, a murderer, killed his own brother. Yeah. There were stories about his brother Giovanni going out, gallivanting, having a good time, and not making it back. And people were saying that it was Caesar that had something to do with it, or Alexander, but it was a big cover-up. And it was said that he was part of it. Now, since black people are guilty to prove it innocent, I'm saying Jesus is guilty to prove it innocent. I'm saying he had something to do with killing. See, Jesus be killing people. That's y'all Jesus. Killed his own brother and died at 31. Let's see how he died. I want to let's go to this because he ain't come back. He's dead. Dead. Hold on, I'm going at him. Because he's dead. What did he die of? He died horribly. He died like the vagabond, bastard, criminal he was. That's right, I said it. He ain't nothing but a devil cracker. Nothing but a devil cracker. Let's see how he died. Escape from six and which by John who was missing military man. So he killed people for irregularly. He was a war man. He was a mercenary. Oh Lord. He was all in the political game. Look at this. I'm loving this. Ferdinand II. In the betrayal, he was then shoot the role of the government labor. Come on, face. Also, half his face. Wait a minute. He was then shoot the luxury garments, valuables, and a leather mask covering half his face, disfigured, possibly by syphilis during his last years. Was left naked, dying. He's left naked and dying. So there is a tomb of Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found the tomb of Jesus. The dude chasing people, man, they found out he was alone. It's like, wait a minute, why are we running? It's 5 of us and there's one of him. Why are we running from him? Turn around, run him over with the with some horses, stab him up with poke. Huh? Jesus died as he did die of a spear. He sure did. He sure is. He sure is. That's crazy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me get back to the science. So the man died of a spear. He died by knights. He died by soldiers. He was a soldier. He was a general. He was a killer. He was a mercenary. He was a betrayer of people. He was a bastard child. He is everything that white folks claim us to be. And that's why they gave him to it. It's a big damn joke. Big damn joke. And you waiting on him to return. Yeah, that guy is real. He's got a whole history. We can find him. We can find his history. And we can find his tomb. He's connected to one of the most vicious papacies in the history of society. But the actual Jesus Christ? No, he don't exist. He don't exist. That dude don't exist. But you waiting for him, ain't you? I told you I'm going to destroy the idols. Look to your left and look to your right. That black person is all you got. It's all you got. Because I'm not talking to the 70-year-olds. They already gone. It wouldn't even make sense to go back and forth with them. But they have laid that doctrine down to unassuming African people from the continent and in the diaspora. Yes, they have. And so it's your young minds I must destroy. I'm destroying all your white allies. Hey, Caesar. Pastor Caesar. Amongst all these black folks for 30 to 40 years. Are you willing to tell your people to let my people go? You willing to give back the resources you stole, huh? You want to give us back Africa, huh? Huh? All the black islands of the world. Will you let them go and let us run them? So we can fix this mess that you made. Will you do that? I don't want no more Black Lives Matter on the street. Caesar. Huh? I don't want it. You can have that. Caesar and Black Lives Matter go hand in hand. Huh? This is God's creation. Right? Everything they do is about homosexuality.